As communities continue to clean up from last week's storms, another possible severe storm system making its way to southern Wisconsin. Plus, former President Trump heads to Manhattan today ahead of his hearing on criminal charges tomorrow. What to expect from the courthouse. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Hay. New at noon, Dodge County deputies are investigating a motorcycle crash north of Waterloo that left 3 people hurt. It happened last night on County Highway T near Stark Road. Officials say a Suzuki motorcycle crashed into a Harley-Davidson. The driver of the Suzuki was ejected and suffered serious, non-life-threatening injuries. The driver and passenger on the Harley had minor injuries. Officials say no one was wearing a helmet and alcohol was a factor in the crash. The National Weather Service confirmed 9 tornado touchdowns in Wisconsin connected to Friday's storm system, but officials are surveying more damage in Iowa County today, so that number could rise. 2 of the newly classified tornadoes were EF1s and 4 were EF0s. Tornadoes touched down in Whitewater, Judah, Broadhead, Lake Ripley, and Albany. One also touched down in Stoughton, snapping power lines with wind speeds of up to 100 miles an hour. And another alert day is in store for tomorrow night and Wednesday. Julian Seawright is over in the Weather Center with the details. Julian?
Yeah, that's right, Mark. Seems like we can't get another break because we have more severe weather and potentially high winds heading into the mid part of this week. So let's get right into it. First one alert day is in effect going into tomorrow night and for tomorrow afternoon. Could even carry into Wednesday as well. But this is the severe weather threat we're going to be watching coming into our Tuesday afternoon and for overnight hours. We have all production of any kind of threats on the table for this. This is high winds, heavy rainfall, hail, and isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out for some areas, especially to the southwest from Madison. Now, as we take a look for Wednesday's alert day, well, we have high winds as a possibility, sustained from 25 to 35 miles per hour, but could even eclipse 50 miles per hour gusts throughout the entirety of Wednesday, so it's definitely going to be a day where you want to be inside. Now, as we take a look at our radars of right now, just a couple of showers, especially just near Janesville and making its way towards Platteville. Relatively dry around Dane County, but to the south is where we're seeing much of that rain. Now, again, for the severe weather outlook, slight risk just around Madison, but the further south that you go is the higher risk we have for severe weather. Just from Janesville to the west, you can see we have an enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5 for severe weather, and our friends just on the border of northern Illinois and Iowa are under that level 4 risk moderate, which we just saw just a few days ago. Now, talking about these storms, again, the timing, we may see a quick couple of showers or thunderstorms early Tuesday afternoon, but around 4, 5, 6, and even 7 o'clock in the evening is when you need to pay attention because we could start to see some storms firing up, especially for those who are heading to the voting polls. We'll have more of a detail of breaking down the threats and the timing in a few moments. Till then, back to you, Mark.
Vote early if you can.
Absolutely.
All right, Julian, thank you. Before the storms move in, be sure to download our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hour-by-hour forecasts, the latest radar, and will alert you about storm watches and warnings in your area. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Parking lots at American Family Field are jam-packed with tailgaters for the Brewers home opener today. Our Andrew Banstra is down there. Andrew, what are you finding?
Yeah, I've met a lot of incredible people, but for me, it's not so much about the people. It's the smells, it's the sights, it's the sounds, you can just feel it. Baseball season is finally here. And speaking of that, for one family that I met, the Robinson family, baseball season doesn't actually start for them until they start tailgating. Dave Robinson has taken his grandchildren to the Brewers home opener for as long as they've been alive.
Well, I used to go to games when I was younger at County Stadium and stuff, and then when the kids got older and they loved baseball so much, I said, we're going to go every year. They're skipping school and we're going to the games. No, it wasn't a tradition before, but after we did it the first year, it was really cold and we're all cold. We got heaters and tents. We make scrambled eggs and brats every time. And this is a great tradition. Let's start it. And so we do it every year. There's not even a question. Everybody comes.
His grandson Brent is 12 at his 12th Brewers home opener. While everyone has a tailgate favorite, they created their own. Each year they make scrambled eggs and then put brats in those scrambled eggs. Now, they told me this is the only day of the year where they make scrambled eggs and brats. It's not an everyday thing other than maybe Christmas Day, which for them is basically the same as opening day. We'll tune this again at 4 and 5. You'll hear from much more fans. But for now in Milwaukee, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you in later newscast. Thanks. Have fun out there. Former President Trump is expected to arrive in New York this afternoon ahead of his arraignment tomorrow. A Manhattan grand jury voted last week to indict him, making him the first former president in history to face criminal charges. The indictment is still under seal, but a source familiar with the case tells CBS News that Trump will likely be charged with falsifying business records in the first degree. That's a felony stemming from his alleged role in hush money paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels back in 2016. Right now, security outside the New York courthouse is extra tight.
You're not storming the courthouses. That's not going to happen. I'm sure our executives have reviewed January 6th and what went wrong. So they're anticipating any kind of issues like that.
Meanwhile, the former president maintains he did nothing wrong, criticizing Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and the judge assigned to the case. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Why millions of people lost their Medicaid coverage over the weekend, and the WWE may be under new ownership soon. That's coming up in the Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
She locked him in his room, starved her son to death. The 16-year-old boy weighed only 42 pounds when he died. She could have got 25 years, but she got lucky. Judge Janet Protasewicz set her free. No time in prison. He strangled and raped his 79-year-old aunt. He faced 25 years, but he got lucky too. Protasewicz let him off with only 5. Tell Judge Protasewicz this is not justice. Stop protecting criminals.
In need of home repairs? From stairs and railings to roofing and plumbing, Habitat Dane County works alongside families to ensure safe, stable housing for years to come. Qualifications are based on income, need, and willingness to partner. Don't delay. Apply today.
Remember this, and the false elector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th Commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
With devastating injury and loss, drunk driving accident victims need an attorney to fight for a way to rebuild their lives. GTW lawyers have won some of the biggest civil awards in Wisconsin on behalf of their clients. All in to win. Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
She's only 9, but this golfer's a tiger.
I love golf. It's the best sport ever.
And her skills have earned her the chance to compete at the home of the Masters. News 3 Now's Zach Hanley finds out what drives this grade school golf prodigy. Tonight at 10.
A teenager with the mental capacity of a 6-year-old, tricked by a predator on Facebook using a fake name, who then sexually assaulted her. It was pure evil. If Judge Janet Protasewicz was to ever take a stand for a victim, this was the time, and this was the victim. But she failed, again, placing the man on probation with a measly 60 days in the local jail. Tell Janet Protasewicz, stop letting predators off easy.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Saturday marked the end of Medicaid for about 15 million recipients. About 1 in 6 of those who received the government health insurance lost their coverage on April 1st. That's because states once again started checking eligibility of everyone on Medicaid following COVID. Some now make too much money to qualify for the program, while others may have relocated. Major League Baseball owners are expected to vote this week on a collective bargaining agreement for minor league players. Players and league officials signed off on their first collective bargaining agreement for minor leaguers on Wednesday. The 5-year deal raises player salaries by tens of thousands of dollars and enables them to be paid during the offseason. And the WWE may soon be under new ownership. CNBC first reported the potential multi-billion-dollar deal that will merge Vince McMahon's WWE with Endeavor's UFC. McMahon returned to the company in January after retiring last year amid a misconduct investigation. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
Checking Wall Street at the noon hour, the Dow Industrials up 233 points. The NASDAQ down 95, but the S&P 500 is up a little over 2. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can call for action right now at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Well, today's egg prices next, and Julian has more on the upcoming alert day. And today on Live Before, we preview tonight's NCAA championship game. Plus, Will Loper has the box office numbers and suggestions on what to watch. It's coming up at 4.
Do you really think we could sell our house in a month?
Absolutely. What could go wrong?
A lot can go wrong selling your house today. Not if you sell the We Buy Ugly houses as is, fast, for all cash. For decades, sellers have trusted our fair cash offers. Call or click to sell quick.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Protect your vehicles, outdoor equipment, and more with Shelter Logic storage products. Both our garages and sheds can be assembled quickly to block harmful UV rays while protecting your investments. And you'll be sure to enjoy your backyard get-togethers, rain or shine, with a Shelter Logic canopy. Large or small, we carry a storage solution to meet your needs. Right now, a 6-leg gazebo canopy is just $99.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
McGann Furniture and Flooring has a question for you. Do you have a hard time sleeping comfortably through the night? Is your mattress 10 years old or even older? Chances are you're due for a new one. Mattress technology has changed a lot in the last 10 years. Our experienced staff will help you find the right style, construction, and firmness that will give you years of sleeping comfort. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. With delivery and disposal of your old set, we make it easy to have the bed of your dreams at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious, judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
Soon you'll head to the polls to decide the balance of the Supreme Court. The choice is clear: an extremist or a common-sense judge, Judge Janet Protasewicz. She'll protect our rights and our freedoms. She'll be fair, impartial, and independent. Judge Janet Protasewicz believes in women's freedom to make their own decisions when it comes to abortion.
I'm Judge Janet Protasewicz, and I'm asking for your vote by April 4th.
Hey, maybe some online buyer could buy our house.
Awesome. Yeah, what could go wrong? A lot can go wrong selling your house today. Not if you sell the We Buy Ugly houses as is, fast, for all cash. For decades, sellers have trusted our fair cash offers. Call or click to sell quick.
Kevin Nealon is drop dead hilarious.
I've been doing a lot of memorials, and you know what? I kill it.
And who's the best cook? Did I just start beef between the ladies of Escape? Me, baby.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Tomorrow's election day, and if you haven't voted yet, the polls will be open bright and early.
We'll share a final look at the races and ballot questions so you're in the know before you go.
And we'll have an update on our severe weather potential tomorrow. Join us in the morning between 4:30 and 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report out of the Radio Barn today. She'll be back tomorrow, so here are your farm numbers. Well, an alert days in the forecast for tomorrow. Here's Julian with the latest.
That's right, Mark. We are going to be seeing, again, another round of severe weather threats throughout much of southern Wisconsin and areas even closer to the northern Illinois border once we get into our Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. So let's go ahead and break it down for us. Pretty much all threats are on the table for us. High winds, heavy rainfall, hail, and isolated tornadoes. And furthermore, we're going to be seeing overnight developments of some storms still starting to linger for some areas. But as we take a look at later into the week, we have also another alert day, and that is for high winds, as we're going to see sustained winds from 25 to 35 miles per hour, and could even see gusts eclipsing into 50 miles per hour. So Wednesday is definitely going to be a day you don't want to really be outside. So taking a look at tomorrow's severe wet threats. Well, for much of southern Wisconsin, especially from Madison just a bit south, but not south enough to where you're past Janesville, under that slight risk, which is level 2 out of 5. So we have a decent chance of us seeing some severe weather, but really areas just south of us, from Platteville, Monroe into Janesville, is where we have that enhanced risk for seeing severe weather, that level 3 out of 5. And the further southwest that you are, near northern Iowa and northern Illinois, is where we are watching for potentials of the best opportunities to see any of those severe threats really starting to fire off. So tornado possibility is on the table again, but it's best just to the southwest. Areas near Platteville and closer to Dubuque is where we're looking for areas to really start to have the highest threat level for any kind of tornadoes to spin up. High wind probability will be much of southern Wisconsin in itself and even parts of Dane County. And then for large hail, mainly going to be Iowa's problem, but we are going to still see potential of us seeing some hail that could be relatively quarter-sized. So there's a few things to be watching for over the next few hours, and definitely one thing to really get your severe weather plan ready to go as we get into tomorrow. Since it is election day, you may want to vote early and make plans and arrangements because the weather may hinder things once we get into our afternoon and evening hours. But taking a look at it as of right now, we are watching some shower activity that's starting to develop throughout much of southern Wisconsin, especially just south of I-39. As we get into the later parts of today, the shower activity is going to be a bit more widespread, starting to reach a bit into Dane County as temperatures linger into the lower 50s. So it's going to feel pretty decent outside. However, once we get into tonight, we have an opportunity to see a couple of showers that will turn into thunderstorms, and temperatures will stay into the lower 40s throughout the rest of tonight. Now, Tuesday morning, low 40s, and we're going to be seeing shower activity rather quickly, which will be a good thing for us to see cloud cover and some showers relatively early for us here in southern Wisconsin, because that will at least dampen the effects of us seeing really strong or severe storms getting into our Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. However, around 7 o'clock, starting around 5 into the rest of the evening hours, you can see a bit of some developments of showers and thunderstorm activity starting to move its way in, especially once we get into our Tuesday night. Overnight could still see a couple of lingering showers or storms, but then once it starts to move its way out overnight, we're looking at temperatures to climb. Lower 60s, and those winds will be howling throughout the overnight, transitioning into our Wednesday, which is why we're saying you better be prepared for a very windy Wednesday for us. Taking a look at our 10-day forecast, starting off with today and the next couple. Lower 60s, but the 60s would be near midnight into the overnight hours for Wednesday, and then we're going to cool down rather quickly heading into our Wednesday afternoon and for our Thursday. For the rest of the week, we can expect some sunshine, breezy conditions. Heading into the weekend, though, lower 60s is actually going to be pretty favorable for our Easter weekend. Only thing is, we may see a couple of showers for Easter Sunday, but Mark, can't beat those temperatures and might actually have a quiet period.
Maybe have turned the corner after Wednesday.
Yeah, after Wednesday, finally.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Up next, Howard's in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, turning spring veggies into a salad that he says will excite your taste buds.
Now that it's officially spring, it's time to add a few new dishes to our dinner time routine. So, what do you say we make a farm stand favorite that combines a bunch of spring veggies with a yummy lemon vinaigrette? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Let me show you. The first thing you want to do is blanch a bunch of fresh asparagus until it's tender. Then, to stop the cooking, we place them in ice water. Next, we cut up some radishes into thin slices. Just make sure you tuck your knuckles in, like this, when you're cutting them, so you don't nick yourself. Now, we cut the asparagus into pieces and add those to the radishes, along with some scallions and lemon zest. To give our salad its fresh taste, we make a dressing by whisking together lemon juice and sugar. And once the sugar's dissolved, we add olive oil and a bit of salt. We pour this over the veggies and into the fridge it goes. It may be simple, but let me tell you, the combo of the flavors is so refreshing. You see, you get the crunch from the radishes, the zing from the lemon, and the earthiness from the asparagus. To get the recipe for our lemony asparagus and radish salad, simply visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we discovered a spring-tastic way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Brewers Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call, 608-270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way.
All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
It's Make My Monday at Hy-Vee. One day only this Monday. Get Hy-Vee orange juice for just 99 cents. That's right, just 99 cents. Cheez-It crackers for just $1.99. A 4-pound bag of That Smart Sugar for just $1.88. Fruity Pebbles or Honey Bunches of Oats for just $1.48. A tenderloin sandwich for just $5. And Nori Sushi California rolls are only $5. One day only, this Monday, only at Hy-Vee.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way.
All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Lisa Briggs from the Brewers Company is answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call, 608-270-9933. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Brought some spring with you?
Yeah, Gerbera daisies. We've got all kinds of really pretty flowering plants in the store because it's Easter weekend coming up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so lilies, hydrangea, all kinds of things. So if you're looking for some color, you know where to come.
Brighten up the house.
Yes, indeed.
That helps a lot. All right, let's go to the phones. We will start with, what is it? Myrna from Madison. Hi, Myrna. What's your question?
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I have ditch lilies, and I'm wondering if I should use Roundup on them, and if I use Roundup, how soon can I plant something else in the same spot?
You can use Roundup on them. I would maybe paint it on that foliage as it comes up rather than spraying. It's just sometimes the spraying, especially if you have them coming up in garden beds, the spray gets everywhere, and it's sort of anything that it touches, it will damage. So if you just get like a foam brush and brush it on that the new foliage as it comes up. Roundup says that it is out of the soil in 10 to 14 days, and it really just affects the plants. So give it a couple of weeks, and then you can plant in that spot.
Okay, good luck. Let's go to Carl in Madison. Hi, Carl. What's your question?
Hi. I had this stump removed, and now there's a area of dirt and sawdust and wood chips. And I have a fair amount of compost I've accumulated. I was wondering if I could combine the compost and maybe some of the stuff you get out of Milwaukee, whatever it's called, Mergo Grow or whatever, and if I could possibly grow either clover or grass there.
Okay, so since you had your stump, since there's sawdust, what they did was they ground the stump. It's still in there. I would remove the sawdust that's in there, and yeah, mixing some compost in with the soil that's left will sort of even that out, and then you could go ahead and plant grass seed or clover seed in there. That would be fine.
Okay, good luck. Bill in Delafield. Hi, Bill, what's your question?
Simple one. How do I keep the deer off my hostas and tulips?
So deer are scent predators and taste predators. I always had, when I lived in Sheboygan, I had deer after my hostas all the time, marauding herds of them. I would use liquid fence, or you can use Repelzol. They're both liquid things, and you spray it on the beds, on the edges of the beds, and then that'll keep them from staining the plants. And when pressure is high, new plants are coming up and the deer are really hungry, you might have to reapply every week to 10 days. Wear gloves, hold your nose, it's really stinky, but the smell will dissipate for humans in an hour or two.
All right. One more call. Kay from Verona. Kay, go ahead.
Hi. How do I get rid of spider plants on my house plants?
Oh,
spider mites. Yeah, right.
We got it. We got it.
So with spider mites, they're soft-bodied. You can go ahead and use like insecticidal soap or something like that to treat the ones that are on there. You'll probably have to treat it a couple of times, a couple of rounds. You might also want to get a systemic that you can put in the soil, so if there are any eggs around, that will take care of that as well.
Like a spike or something?
Yeah, there's spikes. There's some little liquid ones. The one I used to always recommend they don't make anymore, but I'm sure we've got something at the garden center.
Okay. We're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air in person. Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Yeah, hang on. Don't hang up.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Here's Julian with one final check of the forecast.
Well, just a reminder, we have an alert day in the forecast for us, and that's going to be not just for Tuesday, but for Wednesday for severe weather threats. So, election day is tomorrow. Make sure that you plan accordingly and have your severe weather plan ready to go and have multiple ways to receive any alerts. And at any case, of course, if there is any severe weather in your area, the First Warn Weather Team will be providing you updates when necessary. Throughout the rest of the week, we're going to be cooling down and heading into the weekend, warming back up just in time for Easter with some April showers.
And temperatures in the 60s.
Can't beat that, Mark.
All right, that's our time for now. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you back here at 4 o'clock for Live at 4. In the meantime, have yourselves a great afternoon.